Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Glad to have you with us on this Wednesday, the 20th day of May. Also glad the rains, for the most part, have held off from what we were expecting, but they're still pretty much dotting the forecast throughout. And I'll give you the latest update from the National Weather Service and tell you what we can expect to see and when weather-wise. Still looking at some considerable rainfall to add up over the next several days. We will hear from Superintendent of Schools Scott Hilton in just a few moments. The state gave schools three plans to try to put together in regards to beginning next school year. And like many other school districts, Hilton says the McGoffin County School District is taking one of those proposed opening plans off the table. He'll tell us why and give us some other important news in just a few moments. Also, the McGoffin County Fiscal Court met yesterday. I've pulled out a couple of very important conversations and topics from that. I'll have that for you in just a second as well. And a lot of other important news and information, and of course, our governor's update in just a few moments. At this time last night, I informed you that I had just gotten off the phone with Mayor and Public Health Director Pete Shepard, who confirmed at that time 443 individuals being tested in McGoffin County and 421 negative results, and still that one confirmed case of COVID-19 that I reported to you days ago. At this hour tonight, in his latest update just a few moments ago, 471 McGoffin Countyans have been tested, with 25 of those tests still out. We have now a total of 445 negative cases, and still only, and what will hopefully remain the only single case of COVID-19 as was confirmed days ago. So again, additional testing done, a total of 471 individuals, still only that one positive result. And we'll have more with Shepard before the week's end in regard to how that individual is doing, any information he can give us in that regards. We believe still hospitalized at this hour, the 60-year-old male, as he's only been identified, and much more locally before I leave you for the Memorial Day weekend. I also need to mention a couple of other things locally. In lieu of my being at the McGoffin County High School pretty much all day, every day this week, with the exception of a few hours here to put the show together and just barely do that. Haven't been out and about, haven't been reaching out, as we're not getting out. I'm not getting out any more than I have to, but doing so via the phone and electronic means. But retailers were able to open their doors today, of course, at limited capacity and following very strict guidelines. We'll be reaching out to those, getting some feedback as to how it's going for them, what their plans are. In that regards, restaurants in Kentucky will be allowed to open their in-store dining areas and other dining areas that they may have this Friday to the tune of a 33% capacity, and also following other guidelines. Not all are choosing to do so. I have confirmed that our Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe, of course very easy to reach out to, is going to continue just doing the drive-through and call-ahead orders and not open their dining area at this time. Things, they say, after going through them now for some weeks, have gotten relatively smooth. The customers don't want to say not disliking, but not complaining, and they think for everyone's safety that they will continue, at least for the foreseeable future, for the coming few days, maybe a few weeks, that timeline is uncertain, that your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe will continue operations through their drive-through and through call-ahead orders as they have. We've also spoken with the owner or management at the Sagersville Dairy Queen, which is no longer in-house and hasn't been for years. They too are going to go to at least to the 1st of June, as they are now, through drive-through only. I also spoke with Ernesto at Mi Hacienda a few moments ago, undecided at this hour, but very wary of opening their dining area this Friday. We will be reaching back to him, and he is going to make a decision, obviously, between now and then, as his management of Mi Hacienda. But as of right now, they are still cautiously making that decision. That's the only restaurants that I have made contact with as of yet, and we'll let you know more before this Friday's reopening time frame, if you will. As of today, 131 seniors, by the way, had crossed the stage with their immediate family at the McGoffin County High School. That still leaves several to be filmed, about a dozen or less. The speeches by the valedictorians, salutatorians, school administrators as well. All that still to take place, all that for me to film and then edit and then get to you, which will be airing once again on the 29th. I'll tell you when it's airing and where, what locations you can find it via the internet and TV. And the senior parade, of course, still Saturday the 30th. So we've still got a few days from that, but still a lot of work to get done in between now and then. With that said, I'll pause and we'll begin right after these messages talking about one plan that's not going to be utilized for the opening of classes in McGoffin County next fall. All Pro understands that we are all just trying to make it through these most difficult of times, and they want you to know that they're here to help with any repairs or projects that you need done. Big or small, doesn't matter. They've got 0% financing for 18 months and long-term financing if you need it. If you need anything from a new gutter to a new house or a new garage, call All Pro Gutter Works and Construction, 349-9999. Come to Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville and get your prescriptions filled, your over-the-counter medications, and immune system boosters, all from the safety and comfort of your own vehicle, either in their drive-thru or with their new curbside service. You can also call ahead or just download the MyGNP app, that's Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and refill and manage your prescriptions right from your device, helping you and yours stay healthy and safe. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400. Car accidents don't stop. Accidents at work don't stop. Disability and SSI cases don't stop. Your legal needs and concerns don't stop for the coronavirus, and neither does McFarland and Tinker. They are open, able to schedule appointments per CDC guidelines, and always available for telephone and video conferences. Please, be safe, be smart, stay home, and don't let your legal needs fall victim to the pandemic. Call McFarland and Tinker and let them take care of them for you. School superintendents across Kentucky were given 3 different plans or options by the state days ago to consider for opening classes next fall. One earlier than normal in July, so they would have a longer calendar to work with should they need to call off classes for the pandemic, should it have a resurgence, if you will. One in normal fashion, hoping that everything would go that way, and then one not until after Labor Day to give school districts a little more time to prepare, to be ready, and of course to still continue to slow the spread of COVID-19. Like many other school districts across Kentucky, for many of the same reasons and some others, McGoffin County School Superintendent Scott Helton says that one of those options really isn't an option, as he now looks ahead to next year as the school district is officially bringing this one to a close.
Each week, the superintendents around the state and the commissioner has a conference call. They do a webinar. And we've been discussing closing out this year, and now we're in the phase of starting to look at reopening for next year. And a couple of weeks ago, they had us to, the governor had recommended that we look at possibly 3 different options as far as timelines as to when we reopen. One of those was around July 20th. One of them was our normal mid-August, and then one maybe around 1st of September, Labor Day, type of things like that. Well, and the past couple of weeks, the commissioners kind of come back, and some of us superintendents have had some reservations about the July. And it's basically now just kind of, it's up to the local districts when they start. And talking with our board members and looking around, I don't see us being able to do anything in July, so I'm kind of taking that one off the table. Our kids have worked really hard for the last 2.5 months with NTI, and to be able to organize and get everything going back in to have a plan of face-to-face in July is it's going to be a task upon itself. That being said, I'm working on another plan. We've already got our schedule normal schedule approved or sent in for approval. So we're going to do another schedule for a late start, and it'll be somewhere around end of August, 1st September, and we'll put some breaks in there, and we'll try to have that all out. Now, will we be sending that out to the public? No, that won't happen unless our normal schedule is what we're going to go by, but we may have to make adjustments to that schedule and change it to this alternate plan. That being said, we're just going to fix the plan and kind of have it in place in case we've got to go to that. The other things that people are hearing is that they're asking us to look at alternative ways of opening up. Maybe a blended type situation. Maybe kids come so many days a week in person, and maybe have some of the NTI lessons like we've had in the last few months. So I'm going to have various plans in place to see how we can meet the needs and see what we can come with. But a lot of stuff won't be determined until we see where the state is as far as opening up. And a lot of the recommendations will come from the governor and the commissioner's office on whether we open up school or how we open school, how we actually start back. But we're just looking at coming up with alternative ways, different plans to kind of meet those various ways or needs that they may ask us to do that. It's going to be a challenge. The one thing that I would stress to parents, I know that there's fear about returning to school, but I would caution that you don't take your kids out of school right now as far as signing them out on homeschool and things, because if you have a fear or if there's something out there, we're going to try to work something where those kids will still receive some type of instructional practices. So I would encourage them to hold off till they see what rolls out in the next few months, rather than trying to come in and just sign them out on homeschool. Let's just give us a chance to see where we're at, and because we're all scared and we're all nervous about the unknown, and right now our thing is to keep children safe, keep our parents and our families safe, but we also have to educate them.
Helton also says that the summer feeding program will continue rolling right along as it is through the end of June. It will continue after the end of June, but it may have to be altered in regards to schedule or other changes per FDA guidelines. So the summer feeding program, once again, continuing as is all the way through June the 30th, continuing thereafter, but possibly in a different bit of a makeup, and he'll be with us and let us know should they make any changes if they have to. Also, there is a state virtual graduation for the entire state. All school districts were asked to submit photographs of their graduating seniors for a virtual graduation, which will be airing this Saturday. I'll have that link for you on tomorrow's program. And I'll be right back. Meet Silas. Silas is absolutely an adorable hunk of love and has all the hugs and kisses to prove it. He is super smart, potty trained, about 3 years old and about 60 pounds, and he is ready for adoption. He's our pet of the week. Our Pet of the Week, sponsored by Dr. Tom Abel of Able Eyes in Lexington, who wants to remind us all to stay safe, stay home, and his office will be back open before you know it. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to conleytire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424.
Hello, Bob Hutchison here for the Hutch Auto Group. It has always been a privilege to serve you and to make sure you get the vehicle you want at the price you want. It's an even bigger privilege now that we are open and we can't wait to see you. You'll find all the national incentives on our 8 franchises, like 0% interest for 84 months, deferred payments for up to 6 months, and you can even buy your new vehicle with no money down.
There is never a good time for a breakdown. They will happen, and your car at some point is going to need some repairs and maintenance. And Black Smoke Performance is open and here with professional, fast, safe service. And just in time for warm weather, they now have certified full air conditioning, diagnostics, and repair to keep you cool in whatever you drive. Black Smoke Performance, 349-8785. I pulled out a couple of the following topics of conversation from yesterday's meeting of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court, which early on saw what could be indeed a record as it was time to talk about fund transfers for the McGoffin County Fiscal Court, possibly the lowest monthly jail bill ever. I mean, it averages $30,000 to $40,000 every single month, sometimes more. As the treasurer requested a transfer from the general fund to the jail fund this time around, but much less. And now, with low risk offenders, if you will, instead of being placed in the big Sandy jail, being placed at home on home incarceration due to the pandemic, this month's bill may be a record low, and it might be something that they continue thereafter.
The treasurer explained the fund transfers.
Okay, we need to transfer $15,000 from the general fund to the jail fund and $425 from the general fund to the forestry fund for a total of $15,425.
This is the lowest jail bill probably in the last, I don't know how many years. I know we didn't have anything like that when I was magistrate, but
since I've been here, I can remember.
yeah, it's bad circumstances that we have it, but if there's any good to it, we're saving a little bit of money on a jail bill, and it's helping too doing the bracelets. That's helping us out, saving us some money. All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve the fund transfers.
I'll make the motion.
Motion Darrell, is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Seconded by Buck. Any discussion?
Yeah, maybe we can look into this for the future, to save on the jail fund. I mean, I don't know if it's.
You talk about the bracelets?
Yeah, the bracelets.
Oh, yeah, I've already, what we've got right now is a temporary contract. And once the COVID-19 emergency ends, I'll be bringing a contract before the fiscal court to do this on an annual basis. We're talking about $10 and $12 a day versus $22 a day. If the judges determine to send them home, I think it's a great idea. We don't need them over there running the jail bill up and medical bills and all those kind of things. This could be a big cost savers for us.
Yeah.
In departmental reports, the 911 center relocation over to the McGoffin County Courthouse, it's getting closer to being done. The equipment is being installed. They might be in operation by late June. We'll keep you up to date. The gymnasium floor is being repainted to its original glory in the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center this week, and will be ready for those to use it just as soon as we are allowed to. Also, box culverts have been ordered to replace bridges. I think on Bee Tree, Will Bailey Branch, and Frank Williams Road. Work on replacing those bridges to begin soon after June the 3rd. The battlefield restrooms at the Civil War Park finally under construction. Also, resurfacing to be scheduled for the upcoming weeks on several McGoffin County roads. And on the subject of resurfacing, the judge asked for the approval of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court to advertise for bids for a hot oil tank that will allow the county to make hot coal patch material, hot pothole patch material, because it's no longer going to be cold patch material, for pothole repair, which they're going to be able to take that process and use for a lot more than just those potholes.
The other thing is we can do chip seal with it. And basically what that is taking that emulsional tackle and spraying it across the gravel road, then taking and dumping number 11s on top of it and rolling them in. And it's somewhere in between a gravel road and a blacktop road. And it costs us $20 to $30 a ton to do that, where blacktop costs us nearly $100 to be put in place. If we get this tank and we're able to do this, then we'll be able to start chip sealing roads. And once we do that, that makes us eligible then for those roads eligible that have chip seal on them to be eligible for flex funding to get blacktop put on. Now, the roads that we're blacktopping are repaving is what we've announced earlier, what Kevin announced. And that money can only be used for roads that have been paved. That's why if we can get this chip seal stuff going, we get this tank going, we can start on some of our gravel roads, start chip sealing those and getting them on the list to be eligible at some point in the future to actually get asphalt. So this is kind of a win-win. Once we get all these things in place, but it's taking the steps and buying the equipment and getting everything we need so we can do it.
All voted in favor of advertising for bid for that machine or equipment. There was also noted $31,000 increase to the county for the same health insurance coverage, which was approved. And lastly, real quickly tonight, on the topic of the census, at 35.5%, McGoffin County ranks 5 out of 6 out of our neighboring counties in regards to the response rate of Census 2020.
Out of the counties that border us, that actually their boundaries touch our boundaries, there's 6 of them, and we're 5th. Morgan County is at 59.7. Johnson County is at 54.7. Breathitt County is at 49.8. Floyd's 43.1. Knott County's 37, and we're at 35.5. The only one we're ahead of that touch us is Wolfe County, and they're at 31.8. You know, we've got to get this up, and we all have to work together, not only here as a fiscal court, but as McGoffin County. I need to tell everybody, you got to get out there and do that. Right now, with all this CARES money going out and all these federal dollars coming out, and there's going to be more of this type of stuff coming out, we've got to have everybody counted, because they're going to do this on a pro rata share based on population. That's how they do all these fundings. We've got to make sure that we get our fair share, and the only way to do that is the census on this federal money.
Again, all you have to do is log on to 2020census.gov. The judge says if you have any questions, need any help whatsoever, call the judge's office and they will walk you or take you through it one way or the other, regardless of how much help you need. 349-2313 is the judge's office, and 2020census.gov is where you can log on if you want to do it on your own. Just takes a few minutes, I promise. Very simple, very short. I'll be right back. Times have changed. Now and suddenly, more than ever. Our lobbies might be closed, but the Sagersville National Bank wants to remind our customers that we're still here. We're still working to provide our community with as many services as possible. During this time especially, we encourage all of our customers to take advantage of all the options we offer to manage your accounts from the convenience of your home. 24-hour internet banking and bill pay, 24-hour telephone banking, remote deposit, automatic loan payments, and wire transfers are also still available to our customers. And we're still here during our normal hours. Mondays through Fridays, the main drive-thru is open from 8 until 3, and the branch drive-thru is open from 8 until 5. And the branch drive-thru is also open on weekends, Saturdays 8 until noon, with ATMs available 24/7 at both locations. A message from the Fraser's Prater Drug Store and Seasonal Shop families. Prater Drug wants you to know that you can now call, use Facebook, or use our Refill RX app to get your prescriptions refilled. And the drugstore also has designated curbside pickup parking in front of and behind the store. Simply call 349-3135. And at the Seasonal Shop, they're still posting new arrivals and taking orders with free shipping on most everything anywhere in the entire United States. And they're offering scheduled curbside pickup. Just message them on Facebook, Instagram, or email at seasonalshop@yahoo.com. Fraser's Prater Drug Store and the Seasonal Shop says let's all do what we can to help and protect our neighbors and loved ones. Before we hear from our governor, how about let's say happy birthday and then go to a reminder on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. The birthday was for yesterday, but my friend Allison, who called it in for his grandson Hunter, is going to forgive me because he knows that I'm a little more scattered than usual. Right, Allison? Hunter Galen Howard, happy birthday. Happy birthday wishes coming in to you for yesterday from your mama and papa and host of family and friends. Happy birthday, Hunter. We hope you had a good one. Going on to one other announcement, a reminder, the next McGoffin County Community Blood Drive, you've got some time, but Friday the 29th at the Sagersville First Baptist Church, it is by appointment only. So please call 800-775-2522 or go to kybloodcenter.org. Remember the last time we had a blood drive the last time they were here, I believe a month ago or just a little more possibly. We set a record in McGoffin County thanks to you. So if you can, let's set another one. Friday the 29th. Remember, by appointment only at the Sayersville First Baptist Church. It's always completely safe, and really, I mean, it's practically pain-free. Sometimes you don't even know that they're taking it, but in light of the pandemic, they're making extra precautions so that you can feel completely safe and possibly saving someone's life. So by appointment only, Friday the 29th. And when you've got an announcement like this, birthday or anniversary-wise as well, tell me and I'll put it on the calendar and tell everyone else about it. So, we're weeks and months now into the pandemic and COVID-19. Obviously, researchers know more, and here is what some of them are saying tonight. It was back mid-April, early March that I think it was the FDA was telling us that, we no longer needed to wipe down, just using this as an example, but they specifically said our food packaging after bringing it home from the grocery store. Early on, it was said that by the CDC and others that there's a potential that COVID-19, the virus, could live on plastics and other hard surfaces for as many as 7, 8, 9, 10 days. Well, the CDC today says that it does not spread as easily from touching contaminated surfaces and objects, but that by no means is an indicator to not continue to practice realistic precautions. Initially, back in March, they said it might be possible to spread the virus from contaminated surfaces. However, now they are saying not so much. Mainly, it is spread from person to person and very easily and sustainably between people who are within 6 feet of each other through those respiratory droplets that come from an infected person when they cough, sneeze, or just talk, as those droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby or just be inhaled through your lungs. And it, of course, is spread by, as we know, people who are not showing symptoms. But as far as on surfaces, they say not as easily as what we had originally thought. So some good news there. In some other COVID-19 news, however, over 100,000 coronavirus cases were reported to the World Health Organization in the last 24 hours. That is the most reported in a single day since this entire outbreak began. It's not over. Regardless of what you say, what you want to believe, it is indeed, they tell us, not over. 2/3 of those cases were reported from just 4 countries. The United States remains one of the 4 with the highest number of confirmed cases. Here are the number of cases as were reported for Kentucky today by Governor Andy Beshear. We'll begin by talking about the $300 million the governor announced in CARES funding through the Kentucky League of Cities and KCO, monies going to county and city governments to help cover related expenses per the pandemic.
Reimbursements can include purchase of PPE for health and safety workers, expense for food delivery to nursing homes and vulnerable populations, improvements necessary for public employees to telework, expenses for disinfection of public spaces and facilities, and payroll expenses for public safety, public health, healthcare, human services, and similar employees who have dedicated substantial time to mitigating or responding to the public health emergency. We hope that this is just an initial amount we'll be providing to these local governments.
As for new cases announced today, Beshear announced 166 new COVID-19 cases across the Commonwealth, bringing us to 8,167, with another 108 probable, and almost 160,000 Kentuckians being tested for the coronavirus. Also, ever hospitalized, that number today at 2,016, with 474 still hospitalized, still 98 still in the intensive care units across Kentucky out of 879 total. The governor also reported another deadly day across the Commonwealth with 10 more reported deaths. Now, before I head back up to the McGoffin County High School to wrap up filming for the graduation ceremony, if you will, it's taking a week in its entirety to see it through, I have your updated forecast for you from Licking Valley RECC. A lot of moisture out there, moving northward, but it's off to our east, so we've seen a little bit of a dry spot here for the latter part of the afternoon, early evening, but we still have a chance of showers for tonight to the tune of 80%. We might pick up on the high end a half of an inch of rain between now and the rest of the overnight. We'll see a few more showers roll back in here, I do believe, not too awfully long from now. 7 to 10 mile per hour winds for the most part out of the east, maybe hitting up to 15, 18 mile per hour gusts at times with a low of 52. No thunderstorms expected for this evening, but a chance exists for tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms possible on your Thursday, mainly after 5 tomorrow. We'll see around 68 degrees and winds still out of the east, maybe hitting 15, 16, 17 miles per hour. We could pick up another half an inch of rain throughout the tomorrow afternoon and evening, and maybe a tenth to a quarter or so on the high end unless we get a thunderstorm or two by or through your Thursday night. Temperatures tomorrow hitting around 68 for the high, mid-50s for the low tomorrow night. Again, winds still light to 15 miles per hour out of the east, and a chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout your Thursday and Thursday afternoon and evening. Friday sounds very similar in a lot of respects, a little warmer to the tune of 72 degrees for your Friday. Shower chances increase to about 80%, winds more southwesterly at 3 to 15 miles per hour. Excuse me. Nighttime lows right around 58 for your Friday night. Saturday, warmer still at 78, and the sunshine makes at least a partial return. Partly sunny skies, 78, 61. Can't shake a 30% chance of showers Saturday. 40% chance on your Sunday. Temperatures hitting right around 82. Partly sunny, and once again, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms pretty much across the board on and off throughout your Sunday. And Memorial Day, Monday, partly sunny, 82 again, and another, again, 40% chance of showers, and again, another low of 62 degrees. See a pattern there? You do, right all the way through Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And that will wrap it up for the show. I'm off back to the high school to catch the end of the filming, as I had someone stand in for me from about 3 or 4 o'clock on to do the show. In regards to filming our graduates, we'll be wrapping that up this week and have a complete edit for you on what will be as much of a real graduation as one could hope for. We'll have more on that topic and much more when I see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.